Okay, guys. So this is just a beginner's guide on how to navigate Trello and use it to organize your task as a project manager or if you're working in a project team. All right. So before we jump right into it, first and first, you are supposed to sign up on Trello. Okay. Just type in Trello login. All right. Yeah, this is Trello. Okay, so I'm going to click on the first link. This is Trello. All right, it's pretty much simple to sign up. It's free. Okay, yeah, even though there is a premium version, depending on what you want to do with Trello. But for the purposes of this guide, you can use Trello for free. Even if you're working in small teams, you can still use Trello for free to organize and tackle your to-dos from anywhere. So I'm going to click on this and we get right in. Okay, so ideally for you, if you're a first-time Trello visitor, you're supposed to get to the page where you sign up. It's pretty much simple to sign up, but because I'm already on Trello, so it brought me to the home page. So this is the home page for Trello. All right, here you can see, the workspace, Trello workspace. All right, you can see boards, you can see templates, and all of that. Don't get confused. I'm going to explain what all of this means and how you can use them to organize your task. Okay. So Trello workspace, think of workspace as an entire house. All right. An entire house. Okay. Then within the entire house, you have different rooms. All right. So for that different rooms is what you call boards. You have boards. Okay. So that is just me trying to explain what the workspace and the boards, mean. So you can also think of a workspace as an organization. All right. Just an organization. All right. Then within the organization, you have different departments, you have different teams. All right. So different teams might choose to have different boards, depending on the organization. Some other organizations might just want to create different workspaces for different departments. All right. Then within those different departments, they have boards, and these boards represent different projects. Okay. So that is just it in a simple form. All right. So for some of you guys that are watching this, if you join an organization that use Trello to manage their task delivery, all right, they're going to add you on an existing workspace, sometimes on an existing board. Okay, so this is where organizations or add members to the workspace. Okay, this is where they do that. All right, so we're going to be getting into it right away. So this is the home page for Trello once you sign up. Okay, so let's assume that you're a project manager and it's your responsibility to, create a workspace and create a board, a project board. Okay, so this is once you sign up, you are given this workspace, Trello workspace, which you can choose to rename here. Okay, you can choose to rename it here, name the workspace to whatever you want. All right, but I'm not interested in that at the moment. So I'm not interested in renaming the workspace. So let me get back to my home page. All right. So what I want to do now is within the workspace, okay, I want us to create a board. Okay. A board represents a project team. Okay. So let's create a board. Here you find existing templates. All right. Basic board, Kanban board, remote team hub, and all of that. Yeah, but I want to create a new board, from scratch. Okay. So we go to create a new board. So you're going to give the board a title. So for me, I choose to call it front end team. Okay. So let's call it the front end team. And yes, create the board. And we are in. Okay. We are in here. So this is our board now. So we're going to be adding a list, add list. So we're going to be adding a list to our board. Let me recall this to do first. So we have our to-do list. All right. So we have in progress. We have remember it's a full software project for front end. So We can include peer review as another list. Peer review. Then we can also have QA, quality assurance. We can have quality assurance. Quality assurance. And then we can have, move this from here. We can have completed. All right. So this is our list on our board, on the front end team board. Okay. So you have this to do, where you populate the backlog of all your tasks. All right. Then you have progress. This is where you move all of the tasks that you're supposed to be working on. All right. Then peer review. All right. Where the development team try to review some of their tasks, to ensure that it meets the required standard before they move it to QA, quality assurance. Once quality assurance satisfies the task, done, then can be moved to completed or done. All right. So now you have add cards. All right. So cards, see cards as the task. All right. That you want to, work on. All right. The actual task that you want to work on. So you're going to add a task here. For instance, we can just say the UX, UI, user interface design. User interface design in the task, or if a card you added that, you can also have homepage design. This is just an instance authentication page. Authentication page. Then we also have verification page screen. Okay, so yeah, this is how you add all of the tasks. All right, I add all of the tasks on the list in Trello. Okay, so once you want to start working on this, it's simple. You can move this to this. All right, improve it. It means you're working on the user interface design now. All right, but we're not doing that yet. So I'm moving it back. So you can improve the attributes, all right, of all of these tasks. All right, so I'm going to click in on the user interface design. So I'm here now for the user interface design. Okay, so this is where you put in the description of what you're supposed to be doing here. All right, add a more description. Yes. So develop UI, UX teams should design a high level mock-up for the front end, application. So that's the description. All right. Okay, so we're going to add a checklist. Okay, so checklists are basically when you try to break down the task. Okay, break down the task into smaller subtasks. All right, so that it can be measurable. So this is still user interface design, basically. Interface design. Okay, so you have a checklist now. So you have your checklist here. All right. So now you can start adding items under this checklist. Okay. Okay. So we have design process flow. This is just for illustration. Design process flow. The wireframes. Wireframes. Yes, onboarding. UI page. All right. Once you have these are the checklist, for this task. All right. The checklist for this task. So You can also come here and set your labels. Okay. So labels for this task. All right. So you can decide to say, okay, we are using red, to determine how urgent, this task is or the priority level. So I'm using red, to indicate that the priority level for this is high. Okay. Then for dates, you come here, you decide the due date. Okay. So for start date, yeah, also we are resuming the project today, and the project is supposed to this task basically is supposed to last for a week. All right. So we are starting 30th of June, and we are supposed to conclude this task by the 7th of July. Okay. Then you're supposed to assign this particular task to a member, in the team. So as you can see, I have not added members to the theme, so I'm going to assign this to myself for now. But if you have added members, all of the guys on, in this team with you, their names are going to appear here. So I'm going to add this person right away. Okay. Yeah. Then what else? So these are basically where you attach files. Okay, so if there are documents, for instance, for the person that's supposed to work on the user interface design, if there is a user story, that'll be written, or a the product requirement document that's been written that he needs to, go through, before, designing the UI. This is where you attach those documents for the person. All right. So yeah, that is it basically with Trello. Okay. Any other thing? So you can move the task now with all of the um, attributes here. You can see it's supposed to resume on 30th of June, then conclude this task on 7th of July. Okay, so that is Trello for you in a simple guide. I hope you find this video helpful. Let me know if you have any other challenge with Trello. Drop your challenge in the comment section. Thank you.